All right, guys, it's been a couple of days since I filmed last because we had some rain, but sun's out this morning. We're going to try to finish up our fence here. I'm going to pull this roll of wire back around now and stretch it, re-tack it, and then we'll get our planks and start putting our planks up. This is my homemade fence stretcher here. Basically all it is two 2x6s, and I drilled some holes in them kind of at angle from each other, and there's got some bolts through it, which I'll take these bolts out, and then I basically clamp these 2x6s around the fence, and then I'll pull on that with the come along of the tractor to stretch the fence. I found this works better than the store-bought fence stretchers, which are basically a rod with some hooks on it, because those hooks tend to just, they put all the force where those hooks are and around the wire, and it tends to just deform the wire when you try to stretch it. With this, when I clamp it on, you get the clamping force that's distributed all the way across these boards, and it tends to pull it a little bit better, in my opinion. And it's easy. It's just, like I said, a couple of 2x6s and some screws, bolts, nuts and bolts. Sorry. Okay, let's put it on and see how this works. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is make sure I have it past my corner here. So I'm just going to pull it, and I'll put it about right here. That way, when I stretch it, I still have my nailing surface there. So let's take these nuts off here. Got some washers behind them. Now again, like I said, I had these bolts at an angle, and what you see is one grabs the wire here, one goes on the other side, back and forth, so it clamps pretty evenly across the wire. Now I just need to tighten these up and we'll be ready to go. All right, now we're ready to pull and tighten it up.
I don't have enough chain, so I'm going to use a come along to pull those together. Let's see, do these go together? Probably. Maybe this will work like this. Yeah, we'll try it like that and see what happens. Get this little slack here. Come on. Well, wants to be a little aggravating, doesn't it? Come on. There we go. There we go. Let me back the tractor up a bit and tighten that up. All right. Get it straightened up a bit. All right, how's that looking? That looks pretty good. Let's give her a couple of cranks. Come on, baby. There we go. And I'm gonna move you over so you can watch the fence tighten up as I crank it. Now you should be able to see it tighten up as I stand up as I tighten up on the come along. Everything good there? Yep. All right.
Okay. Now this doesn't have to be too tight. I mean, you want it tight, but it doesn't have to be banjo string tight. But I'm gonna crank it a little more. How we doing here on the bottom? It's looking good. Oh yeah. Okay, that feels nice. Nice. Okay. Now I just need to put a couple staples in here to hold it, and we should be good to go. Okay, I showed you guys this before, but I'm using barbed staples, which is nice because they, as a name implies, they have a barb on them and they stay in the wood better and the pole better. Let me see if I can give you a close-up look. I don't know if it'll focus or not, but there we go. You can maybe see the barbs in there. There we go. And those will stay in the wood. All right, let's see. And what I like to do also, if I can, is put my staples at the corner, at the intersection of the wire, so that it's got more holding power. Let me turn you around here. And also I'm putting these on this side because the wire is going to pull that way. But again, if you get it in a corner, it holds much better. No, I don't know if I can get one down here on the bottom. Yeah, don't think I'm going to be able to. I'll put it right here. It'll be good enough. Staples are a little hard to get started, but once you get them in, they do pretty good. All right. since that's holding my tension on my wire, I'm going to put a couple of additional ones in, just so it'll hold the tension well. That should do it. Now let's let the tension off the come along. And that is stretched. There it is. Here it is from this direction again. And I'll put a couple of staples just to hold that to the that wire to the post. But it'll have the boards on the front, so it's not going to need a whole lot. Let me turn you around so you won't have to be looking at my butt the whole time. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be going down through here. Now these staples I'm not driving in all the way because you want your fence to be able to breathe, to move back and forth with temperature changes. I only nailed those at the end really tight because I wanted it to hold the tension. These I'm just getting it to hold it up against the board, so it's not holding any tension. So I'm not driving these all the way in. All right, that's all she needs to hold her up. Now I'm going to roll the rest of this wire out down this side of the fence. I'm going to try to keep it stood up so it's not so much in the mud there. Or they put in the, we just recently put in the septic tank and the drain lines, and that's what this muddy mess is here. Now this one's going to be a little harder to stretch because I don't really have a good way to get. Maybe I can get the tractor over here and stretch through this other fence. I don't know. I'm gonna put a staple in this just to hold it up. I'm not gonna put it tight, but just to kind of help me manage this till I get over to the stretcher. Put one here. Again, I'm not going to put this tight because I know it's going to be stretched. I'm just going to put it maybe in to hold this wire up. Come on, against the fence. There we go. Whew. And maybe one right here. All right. All right, let's see. Yeah, I gotta get this stretched back up against this tree here, which is not the best option, but when you're in the country and you got a big old cedar tree like this, that's a good thing to use. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see if I can get my board on there and get my chains through this fence, get the tractor over there to stretch it. Let's see, let me take you down there with me. Alrighty, got you in the shade. There we go. Now I'm going to put one staple right here. So this will stand up for me and I don't have to worry about messing with it, falling over. And again, I'm going to put the staple on this side of this knot here because when the fence stretches, it's going to stretch this way. Let's see if I can get that started without smashing my finger. All right, oops. Now when that stretches, I've got this much room for it to move. Whew. All right, I'll do the same thing over here. Is I will get my board and I'll put it here, and then I'll see if I can get somehow some chains through this fence and stretch over there. So I'll see if I can get the tractor over there. Maybe I can go off of that tree there. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see what I can do. First thing is I want to put my board on here. All right, if you're wondering what all that craziness was, what I'm trying to do is get these chains equal so that when I pull from the middle, it's going to pull equally on this board so it keeps the chain straight. So I'm going to go on the other side of the fence now, see if I can get my tractor over there or something over there that I can hook the come along to. That tree, that little tree may do fine. Trees are much sturdier than you think they are, even the little ones. So let's see what we can do. that's about the best I can get it nailed. That with that chain in the way, that other old barbed wire fence, all the obstacles I had to try to nail around, I couldn't get it. I was nailing left-handed, upside down, backwards, but I think I got enough in it. We'll see if when I let the tension off, if it just pulls away. Let's go see. Now the trick is going to be getting that board out from behind there, because that fence is pushing up against it. All right, we got it. So it may have loosened up a little bit, but not a great deal once I got that board out. So I'm going to nail some more staples here, and I'm able to pull it up against that tree a little bit more and regain some tension in there. All right, that's plenty. Okay, now I'm going to go down this row and put a couple of staples to hold the wire up against the posts. Alrighty, the wire is back up both ways. Now I just need to get my boards on there. I'm out, so I need to go down to the lumber yard and pick up some. Okay, I got my boards, I got my helpers. Now we're going to start putting some boards on the fence here. So the first thing I'm going to do is go down the fence line and mark. I have this board here that has a 51-inch mark, and that's my top of the top plank. I've used this for all the fences around. So I'm going to go and mark the that line just at 51. That gives me a reference point to where I want to put my first board, and then I'll put that, and then we'll kind of see how it works out. We'll adjust it from that point on. Now, with all those marks made at 51 inches all the way down, I also like to pull a string just to try to keep my boards nice and straight. Probably overkill, but that's just me. So I'm going to pull a string on 51, and then we'll go from there. Start putting some boards up. Okay. Hey, that just came right out, didn't it? Just doing a loop here. I thought it was. Just pull out. Yeah, that should stay now. Another loop. I'm going to put it at 51, if I can get this to stay. Okay. All right, let's pull my string now. So I've got both my mark that I made and my string line. So that'll give me 2 points of reference to line things up. How are you, bud? How are you, big boy? Huh? Come here. Come here, bud. What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Just looking. You got some spurs on you, biggin. We got this gray rooster. And then we've got this white one here. The white one is the dominant one. And that gray one's getting pretty big, so I don't know. They're gonna start trying to figure out the pecking order here for the hens. I don't know if I've talked about this little doodad before, but I made this, and this helps me to put the boards up by myself. These are 16-foot boards, and there's really no way you're going to be able to hold it up and put a screw in the end and then come over and put another screw in the end. So what I came up with was this, which hangs on to the fence, and once you get the first board on, it hangs onto the board and allows me to do the second board. Then I move it down to the second board. It allows me to do the third board, and so on. And all it is a piece of strapping with a bunch of holes in it, and I bent it over so it'll hang on the fence, and then the end of the board just slides into here, and it holds the board up wherever you need it to be along the fence line, and then that way I can build these things by myself without anybody to hold the other side of the board. All right, let's see if we can get some boards up here before it gets too dark on us. Again, like I said, I'll slide this board, this end, into this thing here. Just like this. And then it can either hang, I need it to kind of be up here, so I'm just going to hang it on the top of the post. Slide it over here. Stick it up on top of the post like this. That'll hold this end up while I work with this end. I'm gonna put on some ear protection because this thing is loud when we're driving these screws in. Now this, I can see I'm away from the end, so I'm gonna have to slide this down some, and that's gonna fall off the top there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to slide it down a little bit more. Okay, let's see how that does. Okay. I'm gonna have these kind of even on the end, so maybe I'll put it right there. See how we go. All right. These are my spacer blocks, but I can use it to kind of get an idea of how this is going to line up. I need to pull that back a little bit so the ends will match up. Let me just take another screw, put in here. Slide this back. See how that looks now. Yeah, that should be pretty good. Now what I'm using is a 3-inch number 10 decking screw, which gives me a good bit of penetration into the post. All right, now just lift this off, come down. I'm going to line it up. Pull my string out of the way. Line it up with my mark. So that's the first board. Now I'm not going to really fasten any of these down 100% yet. I'm going to put the whole top row on, and then I'll stand back and sight it in, line it up. Now, as you can see, I have this lined up on my mark here. The other thing I do is I don't drive these in all the way. Let me back this out. I like to leave them far enough away from the post so that when I cut with my saw, I'm not cutting into the post, and particularly in this case, not cutting into the wire. So let's take this. I just want to make sure the depth is all I need here. Okay, that's a little too deep, so I'm gonna take it back a little bit. I just want it to go through. Okay, so that's set just where it's gonna barely go through the board. Get my string out of the way. Make sure my fence is not, my wire's not in the way. Okay. Might need a little more depth. And the reason for that is because my screw is sticking out a little bit here. So I'll give myself just a little bit more depth so that I can get around those screws. Okay, let's go on down the line. All right, so there's the first row. Looks pretty good already, but I'll go down through there and just make sure it's straight the way I want it. So if I come out here and kind of take a view of it. Going to go straighten up the poles a little bit. It's rained since I put them in, and when it does that they move a little bit, so I'm going to go make sure they're nice and plumb and straight. Okay, I think I know what happened. Is if you remember, I put the fence up, stretched it, and then put some nails, staples in here to hold it in position. And then I stretched that other side, and I think it pulled this a little bit, and where these were tight against the corners, it pulled the poles out of plumb. So I went back and made sure everything's plumb. Now the boards are holding them plumb, so that'll be good. And then straight. So we should be good to go now with the second row of boards. Everything looks nice and straight. Okay, let's put the second row on. On the second row, we're going to stagger the seams. Now, these posts obviously are not 7 feet apart, so that's going to mess us up a little bit. But here's our seam. So we'll start one board here, and then we'll come back this way, and I'll have to cut it off here so that we can then finish the other piece right there. And then the rest of them should be fine. But just that this was existing fence, and I didn't want to take that apart and move anything. And I also need to mark the distance between, and I have this little block that's 7 inches, and I'll go and mark down through there the distance between the boards. Okay, guys, I think this video's gotten long enough. We got quite a bit done today. The chickens like it. They've given their approval. So I'm gonna stop this video here and pick up tomorrow. I know this has gotten long, but a lot of people requested some more details on how I built the fence when I posted some of the other 4-plank horse fence videos. So that's why I've taken the time in this video, and then the one that's gonna follow this, to go over all of the steps in building the fence. So stick in there, or hang in there, stick with us, and we'll get through here shortly. Thanks for watching.